Hi there, YouTube family. I am bringing you today a promised video. I told you that once I did the highlight and the strobing and the illuminating video that I was going to get into the difference between contour and bronzing, and that's what I'm going to do for you today so that you can see exactly what the differences are in the terminology. But before we get into that video, if you haven't subscribed, please click that button below and subscribe. I'd love to have you here. And to all of my faithful followers, I love you guys. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me and your wonderful positive input that you always give to me. I appreciate it so much. So let's get into this video so that you guys can see the difference. So this morning my makeup's done except for the contouring, bronzing, blush, highlight look, and I wanted to make sure that I did this for you guys on camera so that I can demonstrate to you, not only tell you, but demonstrate to you what we're talking about. So when we're talking about contouring, what we're talking about is playing with shadow and light, because contouring is something that can kind of chisel your face out, make it into a different shape. It can give you more shadows on parts where you feel like you want to be kind of receding or hidden. What's interesting is the subtlety of contouring can also make you look like you have a thinner face, which I really, really love. It can help you get rid of your double chin. If you have a shape of a face that, you know, say you have a really, really round face and you want to kind of slim that face down a little bit, you can do that too. Say you have a really high forehead like I do, you can help to bring that down and just kind of help make your features kind of balance out a little bit. It's really kind of just playing with light and shadows so that you get an effect that you want. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I like to do, and then we're going to go through what a lot of people do. Okay, I like to personally contour my jawline right here because I do have a little bit of sagging skin from being older and I'm overweight. So I like to kind of give the shadow effect right here. I also like to carve out right here and give myself the look of a nice cheekbone, which I have never really had in my life. I've had really full face and never had, you know, a lot of cheekbone there. I do have a really round face, so I actually do the perimeter of my face too to kind of make it try and look a little bit oval. And then up here I have an extremely high forehead, and the rule of thumb on foreheads, I've said this before in another video, contouring video, but the rule of thumb on a forehead is that you measure from your eyebrow to your hairline. If you take two of your fingers and you lay them right here on the top of your eyebrow, and you don't have any space between your hairline and your fingers right here, then you don't need contouring. If you have three right here, you might want a little bit, okay, between your finger space and your hairline right there. You might want a little bit. Now if you have four, that's what I have. So if you have four, then, you know, it can really help you to bring that forehead down and the look of your forehead to kind of give a more symmetrical look to your face. Okay, so I want to just say before I get started into this, this is not necessary. This is just something that a lot of people do, a lot of YouTubers do, and helps give the illusion of whatever they're trying to do. A lot of YouTubers aren't happy with the shape of their nose, and I'm going to contour a little bit of my nose today, which I don't normally do, but I want to do it for your benefit. Now I have kind of, you know, a round little point on my nose. They call it a little bulbous nose right there. So I'm going to do a little bit of contouring right here so I can bring that nose line down for a more straight look. I want to show you the products that I'm using first. This is the e.l.f. Contour Palette. The reason that I chose this today is because there is everything in here for $6 that you need to accomplish the light and the bronzing and the contouring. So this one right here is the one that we would use for contouring. It is a very muted, muddy brown, and it is one that's going to give us that shadow that we want so bad when we're doing our contour. And this one right here is the one that I'm going to be using for my bronzing, and then I'm going to be using these to bring a little bit of light and show you how to cut out your contour. Now let's get into really quickly what the difference between contouring and bronzing is. Okay, these two shades, you can see right here, they have completely different undertones. This undertone is very cool and this one is very warm. When you bronze, basically what you're doing is you're warming up your complexion. You're giving it a sun-kissed look so that it doesn't look so stark and so white. It's funny because the other day my mom said, because I post pictures, she's in Utah, I'm in Washington, but she said, oh, you're looking so pale. And I thought, did I bronze that day? So that was really the question that you can ask yourself. How much of a sun-kissed look do you want? In the winter time, we don't get a lot of sun, so I don't do a lot of bronzing in the winter time. But in the summer, when we're fake tanning or anything like that, we might want to bronze our face up more. I'm going to show you all of these today because I really want you to know what all of them mean, the differences in them, and how you can use them. And you can either do either or. You don't have to do the bronzing and the contouring, but you can if you want to. So it's just up to you. It's just up to what your personal preference is. All right, let's get into this. So for the contouring, the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using, this is a dupe for the NARS Eater brush. I got it for $2 off of Amazon. And then this is my Morphe M528 brush. And I love this brush because of the way that it's tapered and comes up. So I'm going to first use this NARS brush, the dupe brush, into the contour to lay it down all over my face. And I'm just going to just pat it in there, and I'm pretty generous when it comes to this. But basically you can feel right here where the bottom of your cheekbone is. And you want to go from the corner of your lip to the top of your ear to begin to lay down. Now start back out there in the outside of your face, because as soon as you touch that, that's where the biggest amount of product is going to come. Here we go, and we're just going to just very easily just start to tap that across and come down. Now when I put my, look at that, you can already see that shadow. When I put mine down, I hook it just a little bit, just a teeny tiny hook right here. Make my cheeks just kind of stand out and look real pretty. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna continue to load my brush, and I'm going to do this pretty stark today for your benefit so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, that's the beginning of that contour. Now I told you that I have a round face, so I'm gonna go right out here on the outside of my face, way out there, and I'm just going to do the perimeter of my face with this contour. Now, when I get up here to the top of my head, remember what I talked about how high my forehead is? I'm gonna really contour the crap out of that, so that I can really get the effect of bringing my forehead down. And it's hard to look in the viewfinder and do this at the same time, but I'm trying. Okay, so normally my hair would be pulled back a little bit, so I'm gonna show you that too. Just come right over here, go clear down the temple, and just keep patting the crap out of that until it's exactly where you want it to be. Like I said, this is a little bit harder when I don't have a mirror, but I've done this so many times that it's kind of like second nature. And it looks weird right now because it looks like, oh my goodness, she's putting so much dark on her face. So that's really the hardest part, is knowing where your happy medium is. And after you do this a few times, you'll get it. So here it is again on this cheek, straight down from the top of the ear to the corner of the mouth with a little hook on the end there. Just a tiny hook. Just carving it up like this, like you would a cheekbone. Okay, now we're gonna go right down that face again. And I'm going to go, this is the fun part for me because I get to lose 10 pounds on camera. So I'm going to take these jawlines, look how dark that is right there. I'm going to take these jawline, jowls I call them, and I'm just going to go all the way back, now on this side, And see those gels right there? You'll see them begin to disappear. This is so much fun because, like I said, as you age, you get that sagging skin. As you are, if you're heavier like I am, you get that double chin look. Okay, now this is the part that I go a little bit crazy on. So, okay, so here's this double chin I have, you know, right here. I want to contour the crap out of that. I want to bring so much shadow to that it actually looks weird at the beginning. And then I'm going to bring that shadow down my neck, just like so that it gives the illusion of my neck being longer. Okay, and this is the part on the nose that I don't normally do. I kind of try and flatten this brush out just a little bit with my fingers, and then I'm going to very, very lightly just dab it in the corner of my nose, and then on this corner, just very lightly, and it's going to bring that nose into the shape of a straighter line. Okay, so I've got it all laid down. Now this is where this brush comes in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to begin to blend it like a mad woman. So this takes a while to do, but this is the most important part because we don't want to have lines, right? We just want to have the illusion of that darkness. So I don't want any lines. A stark line would mean that it just looked weird. It just looked like I didn't wash my face for the morning. So down here on my neck, really, really a whole lot of blending involved. This becomes really, really hard, you guys, when I'm trying to look in the mirror and see what I'm doing. Okay, this is the tough part because that nose, I'm not used to this and I normally don't do this, but that nose, I'm just trying to really, really lightly give that illusion of a slimmer nose. And I don't, like I said, I don't normally do that. I don't normally like that. It kind of, for me, I'm okay with my nose. So that's just one thing less that I have to worry about. Okay, so can you guys see how good it did? See how good the shadow, the light all over. And you know, this part where you're blending, get really aggressive with it because you know, you want your makeup to be seamless. You don't want there to be stark edges. You just want it to look like, hey, I just lost 10 pounds. So, or hey, I just lost 10 years, which would be lovely, wouldn't it? Okay, so that is it, you guys. That is the be all and the end all of contour. Not that hard, not that big of a deal. That's it. I might, if I was on another day, I might do a little bit more up here, but I'm happy with what's going on up there, so I'm okay. So I'm looking in the mirror, hope you guys don't mind. I'm looking in the mirror just to make sure everything is blended really well. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with this color right here, how you would normally go across here and kind of cut it out on the bottom so that you could define that even more. I don't normally do this. This is not a step that I normally do, but I'm doing it for purposes of just you guys learning what it is. So this is an e.l.f. brush. It is just a flat, very thin across the top brush, and I'm going to go down into that kind of a translucent powder with a little bit of a flesh tone in it. This is what some people do in order to make that contour stand out even more. They go right underneath where they put that contour and they just dab this powder to make it look like even more of a stark cut contour on your cheek. So like I said, this is not a step that I normally do. I don't find that it's something that really, you know, benefits me. More powder on my face can look really cakey. But some people really, really like that to be cut and defined. So you can go in and do that. Some people will bake that across there to make it look really, really cut. I don't do a lot of baking because I find that it can age me and make me look a little bit older because of how thick the powder gets. So that is the basic thing about contouring and then cutting out that look if you want to. Now I'm going to take this warm color that I talked about as a bronzer. And I'm just taking a huge fluffy brush that I have. This is an M527. This is a Morphe brush. And I'm just really just kind of lightly brushing across there. Now this is where the warmth comes in into our skin. And this is the part that we need to remember. If you don't want to get too orange of a face, don't go too crazy with this. So basically all I'm going to do is just brush that right on top of some of that contour and kind of up around my temples, just to give a really nice natural warming effect. Same thing on the other side, just kind of warming up everything that we just did. Now you can go across your forehead if you want to. You can go down your nose and across your cheeks, because those are the places where the sun hits, right? So those are the places that we might want to warm up. I like to warm up this part of my, the top of my chest right here, the décolleté. I just kind of like to warm that up a little bit, just to give it a little bit of life. So really bronzing is warming it up. It's basically what it is. And that's all I do when I bronze. I don't do a ton. If it were summer, I might go a little bit darker and go 2 or 3 shades even darker. But it's winter, and so my skin is really light right now anyway. So the only thing that I really want to do with this, with the bronzer, is just give a little bit of warmth, a little bit of life to my skin. So now you know the difference between contouring and bronzing. I'm going to show you just really quickly my blush and then my highlight, so that you can just see me put those on. This is a blush from ColourPop called Between the Sheets. I just find that it's a really nice neutral blush that I really love. This is an IT Cosmetics dual fiber brush. It's kind of a stippling angled brush. I love this one for blush. It just really lightly pats it on, and I can build it up a little bit easier. So I'm just going to go on both sides and just give it a couple of pats here. I'm not doing anything too major with my blush today. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my LA Girl Strobe Light. This one is in the color 90 Watt. I love these new things. And I'm using my Morphe, can you tell I like Morphe brushes? My Morphe E3 brush that has just a point, almost like that contour brush, very much, but it's a lot softer. So I'm just going to go over the tops of my cheeks. Just give them a teeny tiny bit of that Lit From Within look. And a little bit of this goes a long way for me. And a little bit across my nose, because I like to have just a tiny bit on my nose. And then what I like to do, you saw this in my other videos, I like to take a little bit on my finger and put it right there on my Cupid's bow. And that is it, you guys. No big deal. It's really easy to do this and achieve. You can see now how much life my face has and how much brighter it looks. And that I even, you know, that cut right there, and then how this right here on my chin, it really has receded and looks a lot different. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial on the difference between contouring and bronzing. I hope that it was easy to understand. I hope that the products were easy to understand. Not only did I want to show you this one really quickly. This one is from e.l.f. This is $6, and this is called the Contour Palette. But there's also a new one that just came out from Physicians Formula that is called the Contour Palette, and it looks like this. And it has these 3 colors in here. They're all matte. This one I would say is more for your warming. This one is for your contouring, and then again with your highlighting or you're cutting out your contour. It has this really different little brush that is kind of a good angle one, and it's not terribly small, so it's not too bad. Has a mirror right up in here. Kind of a fun little kit to use for your contouring and your bronzing on that one. Also, my favorite higher end one is from IT Cosmetics, and this one is called My Sculpted Face. I don't think that you can get this one anymore. There's another one that they came out with. I'm sorry, I don't know what it's called. I'll try to list it. But these colors right here I use all the time for contouring, and then this one for a warmer color, and then these as highlights. This palette has been, you can tell I've used the crap out of this thing. So that is everything for today's video. I hope hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you like these kind of videos where I give you just little teeny tutorials and kind of like lay out the bag of snakes for what all of the terminology is for makeup. It's really not as hard as it seems. And I think the beauty terminology can be a little bit daunting if you don't know what it is. So hopefully this was easier. Hopefully it was informative and educational and a little bit fun at the same time. That's everything, you guys. I hope that you're having an amazing weekend and you have a great week, okay? I'll see you in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.